Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. I'm a full-time reseller on many different platforms, and I like to do research videos to show you items that are selling for a high dollar. Today is one that I have never done, at least on this subject. I have done kind of in the same genre, but today we are going to do fabric. And the reason I'm doing this is over the weekend I had a $100 sale for a simple piece of fabric. It was a sample, guys, 2 feet by 2 feet, sold for $100. So I thought I would show you some other fabric pieces that sell for hundreds of dollars. These are actually going to start at $500 and go up to thousands. If you are not looking at fabric, or maybe if you are a quilter or a sewer and have a ton of fabric, a stockpile that you aren't using, now might be a great time to sell. So let's go ahead and take a look. I am super excited to share these with you. All right, so first I want to show you this amazing piece of fabric that I sold over the weekend. It was a total of a $97 sale. And this is a beautiful piece of Scalamandre silk. And I know what it is because this one has the tag. And you can see that SS, that is for Scalamandre silk. And this pattern is called Strawberry. Now, I would not have known that this was a Scalamandre silk fabric if it didn't have a tag. There would have been no way to identify it except for maybe Google Lens recognizing that pattern. However, I bought a lot of 8 of those Scalamandre silk fabric samples from the 1980s. I only paid $45 for all. So I made an amazing profit on that, almost $70. And that just made me think, what other fabric is out there that sells for so much money? So I am going to start off with a piece of fabric that sold for a best offer on $500. Now, I will tell you, all of these that I'm going to show you are for multiple yards of fabric. I didn't see any other samples like mine, but there are a lot of samples and smaller pieces of fabric that are worth hundreds of dollars. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. This first one is a Thabo Anna French willow tree. It was 7 yards. It does say gorgeous fabric. This one sold for a best offer on $500. So we are close to $100 a yard on this fabric. And in this video, I'm only going to show you ones that you would be able to identify easily. So here I want to zoom in on the pattern of this fabric where you can see what it looks like. But I'm also going to show you here on the bottom, it clearly says Willow Tree 2021. And it also says Made in England, exclusively for Anna French. So on the bottom of this fabric, a lot of them say the company name, they will say the pattern, and you will be able to look them up. So this first one was a great sale at $500. All right. Next is a piece of fabric by Zell, and this one sold for $530. This is a rare Zell by Christopher Farr cloth. This one sold for $530. And this is a gorgeous tropical pattern. I'm going to zoom in close here. It looks like they are bird of paradise or traveler's palms. And then I do want to show you again on the edge of this fabric, it clearly says Zell by Christopher Farr cloth. The name of this pattern is Briss, and it was hand painted in England, which is absolutely amazing. And that was a great sale at $530. All right, we've got another one right around that $530 point. This one is also a hand-painted piece of fabric. This is Samay Artisanal Resist hand-painted fabric, Gorgon turquoise. This was a 6-yard piece, and this one they accepted a best offer on $540. Here you can see that pattern up close, beautiful turquoise green on that. And again, I'm going to show you here on all of these. This one says Samay Resist dyed Gorgon, and you can clearly read that on the side of the fabric. So if you were looking at fabric at estate sales, garage sales, thrift stores, look at the edges for a name and look them up, because they could be very, very valuable. All right, this next one is the only one like this that I put in. I am familiar with how expensive these are because my mother quilts. And this next one is a quilt pattern set, and it sold for $630. A lot of these are very, very expensive, even when new, but you might find quilt sets. I know my mom has a lot that are not completed, so you might find them at garage sales or estate sales. So definitely keep an eye out for quilt sets and look up who the design is by, because that is one of the most important things. This is a McKenna Ryan Tropical Noel complete laser cut quilt kit. It does have the backing, the Aurifil thread. This one sold for $650. I'm going to zoom in here. This is super cool. This is a quilt I personally would love. If you know me, I absolutely love the ocean and dolphin and sea turtles, and the purples and blues on this are absolutely fantastic. And I am going to switch over here and show you what it comes with. So you can see it comes with the die cut, all of the quilting pieces, as well as the fabric that she uses for this. So it is a complete set to make this gorgeous quilt. It is not a finished piece, and this one still sold for $650. All right, the variety of what Ralph Lauren sells, I never knew. I never knew. The Ralph Lauren name came up in our last high dollar video for throw pillows, and now Ralph Lauren is coming up again in fabric. This is a Ralph Lauren floral upholstery drapery fabric. It is 8 yards. They did say Victorian muted floral. These 8 yards sold for $650. Here you can see this pattern up close. Beautiful kind of beige taupe background. And again, on the edge of this, you clearly see it does say Ralph Lauren, and that was a great sale at $650. All right, up next is another Thabo piece of fabric, and I do want to tell you that I found a ton of Thabo fabric pillow covers in a Goodwill for $1.59 each. I did not know at the time that they were Thabo fabric, but I felt the quality of the fabric, and that's the thing with fabric as well as clothing. A lot of this, you just have to touch it and you will know that it is quality. So this next piece is another Thabo fabric. This is a Thabo curtain upholstery fabric. The name of it is High Plains. This fabric sold for $619.80. Here you can see this pattern up close with kind of zigzags. And again, I want to show you on the edge, it clearly says printed in England exclusively for Thabo. So you would be able to identify this if you found it. And that was a great sale at almost $620. All right, in all of these categories, there are always little things that you typically would not think of as selling for as much money as they do. This next one is actually a bunch of tiny little pieces of fabric to repair Chanel items. I didn't even know that Chanel had these little fabric kits, but this is a lot of them, and they sold for hundreds of dollars. This is a Chanel scrap of cloth lot repair. It does say yarn, fabric, offcuts, and scraps. This one, the set of them sold for $700. I did want to zoom in here and show you. They all do clearly say Chanel on them, and they are just little packets. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here, and here you can see all of the different Chanel patterns. And I am not sure why one would have all of these Chanel fabric samples or small pieces for repair, but this is something you might come across at an estate sale, and it was a great sale at $700. Up next is actually one of my favorite prints that I found. This fabric sold for $700, and it is called Sinkies and Floaties. This is a Tula pink saltwater floaties and sinkies in coral. They did put OOP, which does stand for out of print, as well as HTF, which is hard to find. This was 4.6 yards, and it sold for $750. And I am going to zoom in here. Look, it is a lifesaver ring and anchors. How cute is this? And you do see on the bottom, it says Westminster Fibers, and it has the pattern or the print number, as well as saying floaties and sinkies. And I did want to zoom in here just to show you. I think this fabric is a very, very cute print, and that is an incredible price at $749 for 4.6 yards. Up next is an equestrian piece of fabric, and I will tell you, the equestrian stuff when it comes to linen, scarves, tapestries, pillows, it can bring a lot of money. So definitely take note when you come across equestrian pieces. This one was an absolutely amazing sale. This is Mulberry Lee Jofa horseback fabric. It is named Morning Gala. This one was Velvet Racing Green. It is 6 1/4 yards. They did accept a best offer on $781. That is well over $100 per yard. I wanted to zoom in here where you could see the horses and the landscape pattern of this fabric. And again, on the edge, it clearly says Morning Gala, copyright, and Mulberry Home. And that is a great, great sale. 6 1/4 yards for $781. Up next is a type of fabric that is typically expensive when you buy it new. So if you are able to find unused upholstery fabric, try and figure out who it's made from, because it is pretty expensive when you buy it. And if you can find a piece that wasn't used, you could be looking at a lot of money. This is a Christopher Farr outdoor print fabric. It is named Carnival Performance Print. This one was 8.75 yards. They did accept a best offer on $875. And here you can see it up close. So this would be used for outdoor throw pillows or cushions for things on a patio or lanai. And again, want to show you here on the edging, it does clearly say Carnival by Michael Zell for Christopher Farr. This one was printed in Italy, which is another thing I typically take note of when I am looking at items. Most of the made in Italy items tend to sell for more for me, and this was a great sale. Best offer on $875. Up next, we have some more upholstery fabric, and we are getting higher and higher on these prices. This one is a fun tropical print. This is a Brunswick Fills Zeon Linen Indicaine upholstery fabric. It sold for $999. And here you can see it up close. Very, very colorful with the banana tree, the pagoda. And here on the bottom, again, clearly marked Zeon, Brunswick, and Fills. And a great, great sale. Easy to identify. Almost $1,000. Up next is a $1,000 fabric sale. And we are just getting higher and higher. This is a rare vintage collection, 1997, American folk and fabric playtime fun. It is just cotton fabric. It was 5 yards. It sold for $1,000. $200 a yard for this fabric. I'm going to zoom in close here to show you. There are children playing with toys, little girl and her teddy bear. And again on the bottom, clearly marked 1997 American Folk Vintage Collection pattern. And this was an amazing sale at $1,000. Up next is another 5-yard piece of fabric. And this one sold for $1,315. This is Clarence House poly print multi-purpose fabric. It was 5 yards, sold for $1,315. This one I don't have a picture of the bottom or the edging, but I wanted to show you here up close these colorful birds. This is a fun, kind of whimsical print, and it is a great, great sale. 5 yards at $1,300. All right. We are up to our top 5 pieces of fabric. So hopefully you have learned where to look for the name and some of the types of patterns, as well as these names that are selling for high dollar. So let's go ahead and get into the top 5 selling pieces of fabric. This is approximately 12.5 yards of rare Jack Lenore Larson fabric. The name of it is Happiness. They did accept a best offer on $1,490. I do want to zoom in here and show you this fabric is a little more abstract than most of them we have been seeing. And again, here on the edge, it clearly says Happiness, a Larson Design. This one was designed, it looks like in 1969 by Jack Lenore Larson. So these vintage pieces are ones that you will find at estate sales. So definitely look close at that fabric. And this one was a great sale at $1,500. We have another $1,500 sale. This one is another Brunswick Fills, and this is an absolutely gorgeous piece of tropical floral fabric. This is Brunswick Fills fabric, 12 yards. The name of it is Monsoon Floral. And again, over $100 a yard. I do want to zoom in close here and show you this beautiful floral. And I did want to show you how they photographed this. So they do have this fabric laid out on a dining room table. And I'm going to zoom in here on the bottom. It clearly says Monsoon Floral. Also on the edging, it says Brunswick Fills. And this was a great sale, over $100 a yard at $1,500. All right, there's another Brunswick Fills, so definitely a name you want to keep an eye out for. This fabric is very, very valuable. This is a vintage Brunswick Fills. Pooks Hill is the name of the print. This one sold for $1,750. I do want to zoom in here. This one's really cute. It is all the animals in the forest. On the bottom, you see the Brunswick Fills. And here, this one is in script. I just want to point this out. That might indicate this one is an older piece. And here you can see it clearly says Pooks Hill. It is copyrighted in 1974. And this was a great sale at $1,750. All right, we are up to our top two, and this first one is another Thabo. This is a Thabo Asian Scenic Blue and Green Dynasty linen. This was a whole fabric bolt, so it was 24 yards, and it sold for $2,299, so just shy of $100 per yard. I do want to zoom in here and show you this beautiful pattern with the weeping willows. And again, I actually still have some pillowcases made of Thabo fabric, and you can definitely feel the quality of these. And this was a great sale at $2,300. All right, we are up to the top selling, and the top selling is actually the same brand or maker as the $100 sample piece that I sold. This highest selling one is a Scalamandre Silks. This is half price Scalamandre Courbet Animal Striped Loop Cut Velvet, 10 yards, sold for $2,999, and they do say half price. This is originally $600 per yard. Absolutely amazing sale on this Scalamandre fabric. And again, I picked my Scalamandre samples up on an online estate auction, so Scalamandre is out there. I did not see any Scalamandre that actually had the name on the fabric, so I'm unsure if it does or not. If you have had full pieces of Scalamandre, please let us know. On the sample I have, there are tags attached that do identify them as Scalamandre silk. This one did not show anything that would identify it, but this was a great sale, and definitely a name you need to know with Scalamandre silks. All right, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you'd like me to show you some fabric that is still high dollar but worth less than $500, let me know down in the comments. I hope I've kind of opened your eyes, because if people are like my mom has a closet full of fabric. So people tend to overbuy fabric in my experience with my mom, and you definitely might find some of this. My mom has been trying to sell some of hers out at little craft fairs and things. So watch for some of these names. Keep an eye out for fabrics. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget, tomorrow night and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we do our live reseller podcast. You could come ask all the questions you would like. Tomorrow night we have Dagny, Flying Pig Thrifts, as well as 365 Vintage Hunter on as guests of mine and my co-host Rod at Picking and Punching. I also will be live tonight with some vintage and estate jewelry at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. So come over, see me on Whatnot. Come hang out with us tomorrow night. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way out. Share with your friends if you think they would like, and I will see you on the next one.